12 years ago, I got my brand new PS4 and installed a little known game called Resogun. I played it for about 3 hours, getting 24% of the trophies, but today I am back for that 100% completion. With no story to follow, just hours of shooting ships like an old school arcade game, this game was an absolute blast. The base game is a difficulty of 5 out of 10, only taking about 10 hours long. However, as you can see from my reaction here from beating a simple level, yes! Oh, finally! This game was much more difficult than a 5 out of 10 for me. First thing first though, I wanted to grab the ship editor trophies, as these used to be unobtainable. They are for liking a ship, 1337 cubes, and finally creating and sharing a ship, which with my artistic skills looks like something a 3-year-old would draw and you put on the fridge out of pity. On to the actual gameplay now, completing the game on the experience difficulty, which helps me get used to the mechanics. There are only 5 levels in the game, they all flew by very quickly, and after finishing all 5 I got my first brand new trophy for beating the game and moved on to the newly unlocked veteran difficulty. Whilst on veteran difficulty, on the first level I got a 10 times multiplier for another trophy, and then after a few hours of trial and error and countless game overs, I finally cleared the last level on veteran and unlocked the true Resogun starts here. Unfortunately for me, this would be easy in comparison to what I was going to have to face later on. I moved on to master difficulty next, which is the hardest difficulty in the game. However, luckily for me, thank goodness, you only have to beat the first level, because this difficulty is brutal. Defeating the final boss netted me the longest named trophy I've ever seen. Masterful dodger of revenge bullets and stuff alike. The next trophy to tackle was TCC, completing arcade on experience without losing all your lives. I have to be honest, after beating veteran and even a single level on master, this wasn't too bad. But I did fail a few times and it was a tense final boss fight where I ended on 0 lives, but eventually the trophy did pop. I then jumped into another level on veteran and got a 15 times multiplier. And then I ran through arcade on the easiest difficulty 3 times, one with each ship, Phobos, Ferex and Nemesis, for their respective trophies. And that left me just 1 trophy short of the platinum, but I wanted all DLC trophies first. It's now time for the co-op related trophies, and there are 3 here to tackle, and I wanted to get this out of the way so I don't have to worry about arranging a session at a later date. I have to admit I got carried quite a bit for the IE Asteroids for Breakfast trophy. After a few games we ended up getting the completed run. Unfortunately I died on wave 17, but my partner was able to clutch up and finish the last 3 waves. We then got I'm Back and I bought a friend for completing arcade without dying in co-op. And during that run on all 5 levels we saved all humans, which netted us 5 trophies along the way. And finally we got the last co-op trophy, Live to Die Another Day, for surviving 5 days in survival. And we got a little bonus trophy for defeating 10 sentinels. Now we could move on to the actual DLC trophies, and we start with the first DLC, Construction Kit, which pushed me into some of the toughest trophies in this entire game. First up we had Not Even a Dent for beating a level without dying using a custom ship. Then we attempted 3 trophies in one go for completing a level with no boost, no agility and no overdrive, and pulling these 3 trophies together saved us a lot of time. But the real ordeal started with Burning Times for completing a level 1 master, which we had already done, but this time without using any boost, any overdrive or any bombs, and this was really tough. Eventually I fought my way to the boss on 0 lives, every second nerve wracking. I slowly chipped away at the boss's health bar until finally I defeated it and claimed the trophy. But the crown jewel in this DLC, and for me in the entire game, is an absolute monster of a trophy, NAVDML. This required completing the final level on veteran with a ship that has 0 boost, 0 agility and 0 overdrive. It was absolutely relentless. I spent around 6 hours straight, failing over 100 times, barely scraping through the early waves, and even when I did, I would just die at the boss instantly. My patience and my precision were tested to the max. Eventually, after a lot of game overs, I reached a boss fight with 3 lives remaining. It's a 5-phase boss fight, and with 0 abilities it's almost impossible to dodge the boss's attacks. But when I got the boss down to a quarter health while still maintaining my 3 lives, I knew this had to be it. And I'd love to show you some top tier footage of me smoothly beating the boss, but really it was anything but smooth. I lost 2 lives right at the end and scraped over the finish line to beat the boss and celebrated with massive relief. Yes! Oh, finally. All my effort was finally rewarded and I got the trophy, and to be honest with you, at this point there was nothing else anywhere near as challenging to come. Next up was the far easier Heroes DLC, which added a new survival mode where I had to save a fallen hero by dying and collecting my body in the next match, and then just grind 1,000 humans saved. You can save roughly 70 humans every 8 minutes is what I found, so it took nearly 2 hours for this trophy alone. It also added a new demolition mode, which again was very easy. I just had to survive for 5 minutes in one game and hit a total of 1,000 points in one game. Then I went through actually the final DLC. I skipped the third one for now, as the third DLC is a bit of a grind, so I thought it would be best to do the Defenders DLC next, where it introduces a new Protector mode, which I'll be honest was actually probably one of the most fun modes I've played in this game, and it comes with a few simple and easy trophies, like holding a boost for 15 seconds, flipping level 6 times, and destroying 10 destroyers. And then come the final DLC, focused on feats and challenges. Completing 50 and 100 feats unlock 2 trophies almost effortlessly, as you only need 100 out of 225. And then the challenges, I had to earn 10 bronze, silver and gold medals. Following a guide, I tackled the easiest gold challenges that were possible, and I'll be honest with you, completing the 10 easiest ones wasn't difficult at all, and I got all 3 medal related trophies. And finally, there were final 3 trophies related to level progression that required reaching the ranks 30, 40 and 50. Luckily for me, I have my PS5 and an old PS4, so I was able to self boost it with myself. This is done just simply by playing online matches against yourself and purposefully winning on the account you want. It was very tedious, very long, but it made it very easy. With every DLC trophy checked off, I returned to the main game and got the final trophy. Congratulations on your driving license for completing a level using only the boost. And finally, unlocked the platinum. I came, I saw, I blew stuff up. 70 hours of gameplay later, another backlog game down and another 100% completion was mine. Resogun was an addictive game with that classic easy to play, hard to master gameplay, and despite some grinding and some really difficult levels, every moment was worth it and I genuinely really enjoyed my time with this game, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't played it yet, to give it a go. Share your thoughts on Resogun in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe for more trophy related content, and goodbye.